Hey, so if you had this happen to you with your Insignia stove, the oven knob doesn't work, I figured out what you need to do to get it fixed. Ain't good news. Stick around. Alright, so here's the dealio. So we're using the oven, went to turn it on, and then went to set the temperature, and this got locked. And it's not just this, it's the valve itself. So being technical, I opened it up and checked to see if I could fix the valve, and it turns out that yeah, I could open it up, I could adjust it, but I couldn't fix it and get the flow right. Did a bunch of research online, and turns out that it's a pretty well-known problem, apparently. A lot of people have had it, and the real problem is you can't get parts for it. You can't get a replacement valve alone. I called Insignia, which is actually a BestBuy brand, called their support. They couldn't help me, but I did some poking around, and I found a website for Best Buy Business, and there was a form there, and I filled out the form, put the serial number in, and I didn't hold out much hope for it. The stove was out of warranty, but the next day I got an email that said that a new stove was on its way. No charge, and it was at least 6 months out of warranty. So, lo and behold, look what showed up. I've got a brand new stove. So the deal is now, gotta get the old one out, get the new one in. Let me show you how we're gonna get that done. Challenge is getting the stove out. So as many of you know, this is a Riverstone 39 RKFB, and this stove is 24 inches wide. So I've got to get it out, get it through here, which is fine, and then finally get it out through this door. I've already measured, and we can get it through. And there's Harley and the new dog Buster. Not sure you guys have met Buster yet, but Buster's a maniac. All right, so getting the stove out is going to be pretty easy. You have to take this shelf out, or drawer out, and it's typically, you know, just those standard drawer rail, little plastic lever there. You move one way, move the other way, and out it'll come. And then there are 2 feet here, and you can just use your square bit and take these screws out, and then it'll slide right out. Ellen's not with me, so I've got only myself doing the camera today. I've got to get the stove out and the new one in before she gets here. Otherwise, my marriage will be over. Or at least we won't have cookies or eggplant parmesan, which is a problem for me and a problem for her. All right, so I'll take that out, and then I'll show you what we got behind it and how simple it really is. And then we're going to get my friend Jeff to come on over here and help me get it up and down the stairs. All right. About 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inch long screw, one there, and one over here. Not sure if it's in camera view, but there you go. 2 screws out, and then this should slide right out. And there you go. Gonna have to pull it out far enough to get behind there and disconnect the power, which is just plugged in. Let me show you. You're gonna see all the dirt and debris that's collected under there. All right, so there's a power cord, and then you can see the propane, and then you can see those feet there, one on the left there and one way over the right. So the back feet of the stove actually slide into that. You can see down there a lot of debris that has fallen through, like the crack between here. I've got a solution for that. Obviously that stuff got down there before we got these, but we got these rubber strips here. And at the end I'll show you how I put those on and then give you a link to where you can get those so you can stop stuff from going down there. Alright, so this will be a good opportunity to clean those out. So, let me pull it out the rest of the way and we'll see what it's going to take to get the propane off there. Of course, we'll have to shut the propane off. And I've already done a pressure drop test on the propane, so that makes sure that there's no leaks. And even though that valve wasn't working, it was not leaking, even though it wouldn't shut all the way off. But if you have the problem, you're going to want to probably do something to address it really quick to make sure that you're not getting propane in your rig. You'll smell it, but you're going to have to take some precautions. So you probably want to use a certified RV tech to get that work done, somebody who's certified in propane, just to be on the safe side if you're not doing it yourself. If you're doing it yourself, take all those precautions. Okay, so I've got it pulled out just about as far as I can, which is really good that there was enough power cord as well as propane line so that I can get down here and take this off pretty easily without having to be a contortionist. So we'll do that. I shut off the propane, so now what I'll do is I'll bleed it off by turning on one of the burners. We should see this flame diminish and go out. That way I won't get any propane in here and I won't have to smell the ethyl merkel whatever odor. Alright, so that's pretty good. Make sure it's out everywhere. Alright, now I will unplug it. And now I will, I'll just use an adjustable wrench to get that off. Alright, so I've got the power turned off, propane turned off. And so whenever you're going to break one of these lines, you're going to use two wrenches, one to hold the one on the appliance, and the other one will be your wrench that you're going to use to loosen the line. Oh, and that was pretty easy. There you go. Smell a little bit of propane. All right, there you go. That was easy enough. Now I'll go call on my friend Jeff to help me lift this thing out. Take these off to make it lighter. If nothing else, just convenience so they don't fall on us as we're moving it and tilting it around. All right, so in between the narrowest part, we have just about 30 inches or so. And the stove's width is, oops, 24. So it's 24 that way, and I think it's like 29 this way. Oh no, it's about 27 to the handle. So we can fit it through the regular orientation. That shouldn't be a problem. What I'm going to do is I'll slide it over to here. I'll get my friend in front of me, and then what I'll probably do is tilt it down towards him and get a purchase on the bottom of it. He'll take a bulk of the weight for a while, and then should be able to even it off. We'll use gloves because there could be some sharp edges around it. So yeah, we'll take that precaution because I don't want to have to go to the hospital and get stitches. All right, so you notice on the new one, does not have this fitting here, so I'll have to take this fitting off and then move it to the new one, and that just you know, screws on, and I'll have to put some thread tape to secure that up. So be aware of that. Don't get rid of the stove before you remove that because you may need it. I don't care much about screwing up the regulator, so I'm only using one wrench to loosen this. Coming off pretty easy. There you go. All right. All right, I'll clean off the old stuff just because why have it? got some tape here from propane kit I had, so I'll put a few wraps of this on. Doesn't need much, but should get all the threads. All right, I'm gonna call that a day right there. Just securing the regulator a little bit. There you go. Oh, it's really not a regulator, is it? Oh, maybe. Okay, that's tight enough. I'll hit that with some leak detector once we get it all finished up, and I'll also do another drop test after I get it all back in place, make sure that we don't have any leaks. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how far off the floor the stove is so I can adjust the feet on the new one to be the same. I'll do it that way, and should be easier than trying to adjust it once I get into place and trying to match it up with the countertop. So just take tape measure there. Just about, I'm going to go with 1.5. There you go. Alright, so what I did is I spun it around so when we take it down the stairs, if we get on any kind of angle, the oven door won't fall forward. So my idea is that we're going to lift it up over the threshold there, bring it out as far as we can, and we may be able to actually get on either side of it and just keep it kind of upright rather than tilting it. But if all else fails, we'll tilt it, and then I'll get on the back side of it and we'll get it down. Alright, I wanted to break in here and let you know I had mentioned that I was going to have a friend come over and help me move the stove out and the new one in, and he did come over and help me out, but I did not get any footage of that. Basically what we did is we slid it out kind of parallel to the ground instead of leaning it. We each got on either side of it and then just lifted it down, and then we did the opposite to bring the other one in. Alright, back to it. We do have, boom, this is the new one. You can tell because it has plastic on it still. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'll come over here and do a quick test with some spray. Get it on there pretty good. And we'll leave it there for a little while, but I'm gonna say that we're pretty good. I'll do a drop test. I'll show you how we do that. And then we'll slide it into position. The other thing I did was I took the feet off the original and put them on here because there's already a hole there. So I didn't want to have to go through the hassle of putting a new hole in. I'll try to line that up. This one just has to be spun. And I also did measure the distance from here to here and confirmed it's the same as the original. So this will just slide back in place, secure it down, and then tonight we get cookies and eggplant parmesan. All right, cool. Okay, so got it all back in place. I did do the leak test on the fixture on the back of it, confirmed that we have everything working, all the burners work. There you go. And I also tested the oven. That works. So now what I'm going to do is a pressure drop test just to make sure that we don't have any leaks. Even though I tested back there, it's a good idea to do the pressure drop test again, just for double checking and safety. Right, so this is how we do the pressure drop test. I'm going to make sure that both tanks are off. And then on this Riverstone, there is really a convenient way to do it. There is a quick connect down there. So I'll take my yellow jacket. I've built up this fixture that allow me to get onto the quick connect. And then I will connect the yellow jacket onto here. and then we will pressurize, then we'll back it off, and then we'll wait 3 minutes, see if we've got any drop. So let me get that connected. All right, so I have everything connected up. You can see I have this on. I've got my bleeder valve closed. I've got the quick connect, which is up here connected, but I have that valve closed. I'm gonna open it up. I've got the both tanks closed again. And now we should see this as I turn on the valve at the quick connect. We should see this jump up. There we go. Goes right to just under 11 water column inches. So now I'm going to bleed it off to bring it down to 8. And we're watching on the blue and gray scale there. Bring it down to 8. Oh, a little too far. Right there, we're at 8. So now we'll just watch it for about 3 minutes, make sure that doesn't drop. If it doesn't, I'll do the test again just to be sure. And then if there's no drop on that second test, we'll consider it good. All right, gonna tap it just to make sure it's settled. There it is, so now I'll wait. All right, so we're on the second test now, about 4 minutes in, and again, there is no movement. So I'm confident that between these two drop tests, as well as the spray test on the fixture itself, that we have no leaks. So I'm gonna consider this project a success. Well, the true success will be when Ellen gets home and bakes cookies and makes the eggplant parmesan. Stick around, I'll go and recap in a few. All right, so that was a success. Ellen was able to make cookies and eggplant parmesan, and marriage was saved. All right, so I did reach out to some of my tech friends about getting parts for that stove. Actually, I was offering the stove for parts to other technicians just in case. And one tech said that he was able to order parts for it. I asked him where he got the parts and the part number for that valve, but he's yet to get back to me. So today is January 20th, 2024. So as of right now, it doesn't look like he can get parts for it. I have put a link down below to the BestBuy site, which is a form that I filled out that got the replacement stove for me. So you can try that if you need to get some kind of assistance with it. So if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. If you think anybody else will get value from this content, please share it out to them. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please place them down below in the comments section. And if you have any recommendations, what you'd like to see next, please put it down there as well. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Take care.